I want to tell you a story about a little girl who was born in a factory town with billowing smoke coming out of stacks. In fact, it was so polluted, the river caught on fire, and they were really poor. All of her food was rationed every day. They only had certain amounts, and it was a hard life. And one day, walking to school, she saw this adorable bike, silver with pink streamers. Oh, I want to have that bike. But immediately she said, no, I will never be able to have that bike because we're poor. Then she made her first communion and she got little parcels of money from all of her family. In her mind, she knew she had enough money for her bike. Her parents took the money and put it in a glass up on a shelf in the kitchen in the cupboard. And she'd come home every day from school and look at the money for her bike. And then one day she came home and opened the cupboard door and the money wasn't there. And she thought, they bought my bike. So she ran to her parents and said, did you buy my bike? Did you buy my bike? And they got really sad looking and they sat her down and said, I'm sorry, honey, we had to use the money for food. And she was so crestfallen. She hung her head down. But then she knew she was poor, and that's just the way it was going to be. Then, though, her Aunt Lil came into her life and would take her downtown and buy her a dress and take her to eat at the Mills cafeteria with so much food. And she was always getting a dessert because she never got desserts at home. It just wasn't available. Then her Aunt Lil would tell her stories about all the successful people in these tall buildings and told her she too could be successful if she just focused on it and kept it in her mind. And she thought, I will be successful. And as she grew older and got a job, it just wasn't what she thought. So she moved. She went to California, the land of opportunity, and she thought everything was going to be great. She got an executive assistant's job and things were going along. And then all of a sudden, inside of a month, her apartment was broken into by she didn't know who. Her car was repossessed and she lost her job. She just put her head down and cried. I'm never going to be successful. It just is never going to happen. And then she heard her Aunt Lil's voice in her head. You have to create a revolution of achievement in your life, young lady. That's when I decided that I was going to start talking to people who were already successful. And I sought out all the people I could find and asked them, how did you do it? What did you do to create that revolution of achievement? So then I got into the financial planning business and it just went so well. And I just kept my Aunt Lil's thoughts in my mind. And before I knew it, my team and I We're working with people, helping them to create the revolution of achievement in their finances. We got 10 million under management, 100 million, 200, 250 million. And then, much to my amazement, people were coming to me saying, "We want to buy your business." And I sold my business for more millions than I ever thought I could ever get. And it allowed me to donate $1 million to charity. I was so excited. And then people started asking me to come on their podcasts, to speak at their conferences. And then a publisher approached me to write a book, and I named it The Revolution of Achievement. And I started working with companies, helping them to create a revolution of achievement in their businesses. And I want to tell you that you also can double, triple your sales by focusing on creating that revolution of achievement in your business.